We are Witches Who Podcast.
Hey, Angel.
Hey, Shelby.
So I hear you have a weird story for us.
So I do actually, as a matter of fact, do you want me to tell it?
I would love to hear it.
Okay. Are we starting now or intro?
Yeah.
No, we're good.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So my weird story is, not sure how weird it is from your guys' point of view, being that you guys' podcast is Witches Who Podcast, right? But I've been doing vlogs and live streams, podcasts, so on and so forth, right? And never have I had any issues with any of my content. I save everything on memory cards, on external hard drives. But there was a case scenario that one of my relatives was going to give me an intimate story about my dad, which my dad has passed. And I just wanted to document and record that story, just for, I like to document a lot of my life, right? Just for memories, just for my daughter to see when she grows up. And I just want my life to be used as an example, either for motivation, for just people to relate. You never know who's watching, and you never know who needs any specific word that you might state. Similar to what D does, right? You always spread so much positive energy out there, and I try to do the same. So I hope that whenever I do share anything, whether it's something personal or not, that somebody's able to get something positive out of it, right? So that was my goal with that story, that I was going to record from this family member that was going to mention something about my dad, which my dad had passed. I'm like, okay, recorded it. I'm listening to the story that I'm being told. And when I'm getting ready to edit, I put the SD card into my computer, and for some reason, everything was good. All the other clips were perfect, but that clip in specific where she was telling me the story, there was nothing. No sound at all. No sound at all. Yeah. So I tried to freaking put it in different cameras, in different computers, and so and behold, and I was never able to get that content out. So I think it was just the message that I received from that, is that I wasn't supposed to like tell that story at all. And yeah, it stayed with me, right? I never got to document that story, and just because, and I won't go into detail why, right? But yeah, it's so weird that there was nothing recorded there. And I believe in energy, right? And there's times when we've recorded podcasts here and it has to do with paranormal topics. Many times the same thing, it doesn't record, it skips something along those lines, and it interferes the audio for some reason.
Yeah.
Not sure if you guys have ever experienced anything like that, or not sure if that's weird enough for you guys.
Oh, first.
Pretty weird.
Yeah. Pretty weird.
But also very common. I don't know if that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah.
For things like that. It feels like it was just meant for you. It's like more of a message for you, especially coming from your father, and the relationship you personally had. So I don't know. That's kind of what I picked up, that a lot of the times it's like the universe, God, source, energy is telling you, hey, this is just for you. And maybe you'll still be able to share it in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And but with that being said, I think I took the message, right, that I'll just keep it to myself, and it is what it is. And because it's happened, like I mentioned, it's happened multiple times, that anything paranormal, one, I'm not comfortable after talking about anything paranormal, and then like I'm turning on all the lights in the house and making sure that everything is like there's no freaking shadows, knock on wood. But yeah, for sure, I totally believe in energy and frequencies and things of out of our visuals.
Jeez, thank you so much for sharing that. That's awesome. Which I also have a lot of questions for you, but we're gonna start the episode and
let's do it.
Start there. So, I am Dee.
I'm Shelby.
and we are Witches Who Podcast. And today we are so excited because we have a dear podcaster, colleague, and friend, Angel Houseman. I'm going to read his bio, but check him out. We're going to put all his social media out there. You're going to want to follow
Oh, for
this
sure.
incredible being. So Angel Houseman, a San Diego native with roots in Sinaloa in Jalisco, is a creative mind who transitioned from airbrushing art into podcasting about 4 years ago. Originally, his podcast became a space for open dialogue on topics like ayahuasca and alternative perspectives, aiming to give voice to ideas outside the mainstream narratives. Over time, Angel expanded into live streaming and frequent collaboration with fellow creatives. His past platform has hosted personal stories from ayahuasca experiences and conversations with both emerging artists and notable figures, including musicians and YouTubers with over 2 million subscribers. On social media, Angel has built a growing following of 14,700 on TikTok, 12,000 on Instagram, and 2,300 on YouTube. While continuing to document his personal journey, lately he's been diving deeper into uncovering the true story of human existence, exploring ancient structures that challenge modern understanding. Through it all, his mission remains to express, connect, and enjoy this sweet ride. I love that. It's all about that. Love it. So Angel and I met, I don't know, when did we do the podcast? We did a podcast together about 2 years ago, maybe? 3 years
It's
ago?
been 2 years already?
Yeah.
It's been a
Wow,
while. I know
time
it wasn't
flies.
last
Time
year. I think it
flies.
was in 2024 when we did that.
Mm.
And just his vibe is so cool, and he's just so open. And as I see him a lot on TikTok, here on YouTube. I see how you, Angel, have kind of like pivot. We were talking a lot about like ayahuasca, and I share with you like on
Yeah.
the postpartum period and all that, but into the conspiracy. So all your YouTube videos I showed to my husband because my husband is super into conspiracy theories
Nice.
as well.
Okay.
And we just discovered, I was talking to Shelby about this, that I think he's really going through his spiritual awakening because he'll come to me and he's like, hey, do you know that this and this and this and this? And I'm all like, yeah, we don't know about that. And it's just everything is so new. And I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's seeing it for the first time. And it's just absolutely fascinating. So kind of wanted to ask you one question to start right off with, that you, when you were mentioning about your space and how after doing like, you talk about paranormal and all these strange things, how strange things happen, right? Like weird things
Right.
happened. So do you cleanse your space?
I've cleansed it a couple of times, not as often as I should, probably. Lately, I haven't had too many guests. I've been streaming myself here. So I feel like I shouldn't, but maybe I do just for whatever I'm playing on screen and listening to at times. I do try to stray away from paranormal stuff. And if I come across a TikTok or something like that, I try to swipe right away. But I have cleansed it. I do have some sage and Palo Santo here behind me, so I try to do it as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super good. We witches, we're all about the protection and cleansing. So after certain episodes, it just kind of feels like, you want to do that.
Yeah,
So
I love that you say that too. Like I try to avoid it and I just like swipe right away from TikTok because it's
Yeah.
totally true. Like the more content and stuff you consume around like pretty much anything, but it's like I think especially in like the energetic world and paranormal, like the more you
Yeah.
start like attracting it to you. I I like went on this like binge of like I had to watch like all these things. I think it was like during COVID, right? I don't even remember. There was some period of where I was at home for a certain amount of time and I like binge watched all these documentaries and I like forced it on D. I was like, you have to watch all of these
oh
things.
my
And
gosh. Yeah.
then totally weird stuff started happening. And she's like, I can't even
Wow.
watch this. I'm turning it off. And I'm just like, I have to make this happen. And then I freaked myself out and I had to
No,
stop.
she watched. Okay, listen to this. You have to tell him about this one. The one with the warning. There's like some
Yeah.
documentary and it had a warning sign, like
Yeah.
before you watch it. So can you please tell him what this was
Yeah,
about that
it was
house?
like it. What was it called? It was like so Zach Baggins or Bagans or however you say his last name, who owns like the Paranormal Museum in Vegas. He's the guy that's on Ghost Hunt or Ghost Adventures, like that guy. But he had a documentary and it was like he bought this house that was like called like the Devil House or something like that. I don't remember, or Hell House, I think it's called. And so he
Mm-hmm.
bought it and he was like locking himself in there for like 24 hours straight and like blacked out all the windows and everything, and he was going to do this investigation. And before it starts the documentary, this warning comes on the screen that said like anybody that watches this like be aware that you're consuming content, things can start happening to you. They're not liable for anything that happens to you or
Oh.
whatever. And it was all like demonic, like it was all around like
How
um
can you watch that after that warning? How
well,
can you still
I
say
was so
yes?
curious. I was like, if that's really gonna happen, like, is it really gonna happen to me? You know what I mean? Because I'm still like on that edge of like, is the devil real? Because I don't, you know what I mean? Or is it
Yeah,
real if I
yeah.
believe it's real? So if I don't believe it, it won't happen to me. You know, like that whole thing. So
Yeah.
I mean, or did they put that on there for idiots like me that would be like, oh, I have to watch it now? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. 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 Oh, and just mentally, it starts already messing with you, right?
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. But things did started to happen. Like you
It
couldn't
did.
sleep. Like you had
It
like
did.
nightmares. It was gnarly.
I started having gnarly nightmares and I would wake up like the creepy, you know how they depict the devil like with like as like the creepy ram head, like the goat's head and stuff. I started having
Right.
dreams that I woke up and it was like standing there at the edge of my bed. And then had this my it also was during a time where we were having weird power outages. And so then I would wake up in the middle of the night, freak myself out and try to go turn the lights on and I couldn't. And I was like, this is too weird. This is not,
Wow.
yeah, it was
Yeah. Yeah, that's why paranormal stuff, I strongly believe in it, and I try to stay away from it. It's interesting, and I know it's one of those things, right, that I strongly believe that time is not linear, right? That everything is happening all at once. So they're probably all around us, and at times it's just they'll bleed through our current timeline, but I
Oh,
believe in it for
absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely. So, so far, Angel, with everything that you have done in contact regarding strange, weird, conspiracy, which one is your favorite that you've done, that you've talked about?
Oh man, there's so many, right? There's so many that I think. Would you consider like ayahuasca being a conspiracy or something that
Ah,
I guess would that fall under that?
oh,
It's just so
we can,
many.
yeah, there's like ayahuasca is such for me, I should say, it's such a
truth
tool.
bringer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's such a tool. I don't think there's necessarily conspiracy around it
Right,
because
right.
there is no,
But
no,
but
but not, it
if
doesn't have to be conspiracy. I was just like everything
But
is
but
just
if you know about it, you for sure see it as plant medicine, right? Just like myself. But for somebody that has never heard of ayahuasca, when you start telling them on about all the different experiences, and like you mentioned, it's a tool. When if for them, it's they just can't comprehend it,
Yeah.
and that's why it's for a lot of people, I guess it's conspiracy, it's some sort of like drug or whatnot. But if they really started to dig and understand it, that there really is nature has an internet embedded within itself, and a higher power, and it's amazing, right? So that's why I like talking about ayahuasca, because it's healed so many people. But when it comes down to conspiracies, I think one that I've been diving into a lot lately has to do with the Tartarian Empire buildings. Not sure if you guys are familiar with that.
no, I'm not.
No, really?
A
Wow.
Tartarian,
Okay, so
tell us.
so the Tartarian Empire structures and civilization, you will see these type of buildings all over, right? And you look at them and you'll see them um, labeled or used as a church, used as a post office, used as a federal building. But when you start realizing, and because they hide everything in plain sight, right? They hide everything in plain sight. But when you start actually analyzing these buildings and you start taking a step back and looking at all the detail that these buildings and structures had, you're like, wait a minute, no human being built this. This is technology from a way more advanced civilization that we don't even understand. Let me go ahead and pull up one. So as soon as you guys see them, you guys will know what I'm talking about. But maybe just the title itself, it sounds new to you guys. But let me pull one up.
Yeah, I hear Tartarian. I'm deep into the Akatar series, so and they have all these weird names. I'm like, is this a play?
Yeah.
Valerian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Tartarian Empire, so the Tartarian Empire also has to do a lot with, supposedly it has to do with the world fairs. Not sure if you guys have heard about that as well. Okay, so the world fairs that they would build for, and then it's a whole rabbit hole within itself. But then it kind of ties to the Cabbage Patch Kids, that there was a world reset. There was a world reset that at one point they ended up having a bunch of babies, and they would take them to world fairs to restart the population again.
What?
Never heard of this before? Yeah.
No. See, that's why I love your channel. And like every time I get stuck, which I have a couple of questions on a few TikToks.
I was gonna say this earlier, that when you were doing Angel's intro and stuff, that I just want to point out that Angel, you have been such an inspiration for us too, because early on, like Dee went and did like the interview with you, and it was way before we started our podcast. We were like just kind of talking about like we want to do this, and you were so helpful. You were like, oh my gosh, here's like all the stuff that I use. You were just like you were the one that kind of like pushed us over the edge and like we can actually do this. So
yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And honestly, it's not a lot of people that I'm able to talk to as far as like being a content creator, just being a creative. So I value people like you guys, because there's a lot of people that I just want to share all this knowledge that I have, because this is what I do on a daily basis. I create this live stream setups and I do all of this, but there's nobody to talk to about all of this. So thank you, and I really appreciate that comment. And then I have Mr. Zombie Man here. He's saying, I like to call this part of history the void century.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hey.
So let me pull up, first, I know there's videos that I have about the Tartarian Empire. Here, I'll pull up one of mine, actually, and then we'll take it and then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about right now.
I have a Cabbage Patch. I'm going to get rid of it.
I know.
No. Okay, let me pull up, this is an old one. You've probably seen it. I'm not trying to plug my channel, but
no, please do. This is your space. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Dondi Man that's watching here with us, he knows what I'm talking about, the Tartarian Empire. I talk to him all the time about this, and I always try to wake people up in that, because a lot of people like to go to like Italy and Rome, and when we have those type of buildings here and like used as a US post office. Let me see.
So crazy.
That's why the post office sometimes feels a little funky. Like there's few post office that just have like a certain energy.
What's that movie where it's like the postal workers are actually aliens? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, is it Men in Black?
Black
was one of them where they're all aliens. He was so comfortable around the aliens.
So I'm gonna play this video right here, and let me know if you guys can hear the audio with it.
Okay.
Just 1 second. I wish I could see how all the Tartarian buildings were built. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Just seeing that, like
I've seen them on TikTok. It's just surprises me how detailed they are. I'm just like, what tools did they use?
So look at that. That for sure wasn't built by man.
That looks like Notre Dame. Where is that?
This is I'll have to get back to you on this. I think it's somewhere like in Russia or something like that. But yeah, and then I'll point out a couple of things about this video. But just looking at this type of structure, and
Mhm.
then there's imagery right there that they'll put cymatic patterns. And have you guys heard about cymatic patterns?
Hmm.
Okay, and we'll deep dive on that as well. But
Interesting.
because the technology wasn't so advanced.
yeah.
So I think you sent me that.
No, but that's wrong, dude. How do you know that they're How is it
Well,
possible
I
that?
mean, supposedly, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and so that's the thing that a lot of people say. How could they build this with stones and freaking,
Yeah.
you know? But the thing is that they were more advanced than us. In a lot of those buildings, like with the domes and Tartarian, like, you know, timeline, at least they're calling it the Tartarian Empire timeline, right? A lot of those buildings, for some reason, they turn them into churches, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of them say that those buildings were meant for healing because they literally have frequencies and cymatic patterns on their wall. So all those different patterns that you see right there, you can see that they have them in the actual structures themselves. But right next to it, you can actually see the cymatic patterns that are caused through different frequencies. So let's say if you play an instrument at uh, a specific frequency, you will get different patterns that nature itself already has embedded. Like you will see a lot of these patterns on top of, like, let's say a turtle's back. You will see the way what is it called, the golden ratio all over nature, right? So all these different cymatic patterns, nature already has it, but past civilizations knew about frequencies and they would incorporate that into the buildings.
Mhm. Yeah.
Also, when the sunlight hits these buildings, it creates, or it provides, this energy force and frequency for people to heal inside of them. That's why if you go to such buildings, they always question, like, why would, if these were like cathedrals and churches, why is there no bathrooms? But it's because it wasn't meant for people to go there and like live there or spend time there. It was just strictly for you to go in and heal.
Yeah.
And one key thing too, and if you notice it now in modern time, one, they removed all the bells from all these buildings. No more bells. A theory out there is because the sound waves or the ring of a bell, it was healing to people, right? So they got rid of all the bells. Another thing too is back in the days, they used to have these organs. Whenever they would play the organs in these type of buildings, it was just like everything would resonate with one another. It was just pure light of vibration that it was just so healing to the human body. Even the way that the structures were built back in the days, if you notice, the buildings were built with domes, with arches, right? And now with modern times, right now, everything we built, it's square, right?
Yeah.
Because they say that the modern houses or buildings, since they're square, they trap all the energy. In comparison to back in the days, the structures that were building, they were all around with arches, with domes at the very top. And at the very top, it would have some sort of like copper or gold to like receive and send energy.
Yeah.
But everything now, modern days, it's to trap energy rather than create.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean about the Tartarian Empire and just ancient civilizations from back in the days. Before, before it would, I was so much of a fan of the pyramids, but the pyramids is just like the tip of the iceberg, right? Now looking at these buildings, India itself, it's beyond freaking, it's mind-blowing. India, like, I think I would prefer going to India and looking at all the different temples, because I strongly believe all their architecture was built with laser technology.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that, Shelby, by any chance?
In India?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I've never been to India actually, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I've been to Europe several times, and as I was watching all those videos, like I can just like see all those places pinging in my mind. And it's interesting too because when you go there in person and like actually feel the building, it's fascinating. It is a completely different energy. Like you feel it's totally different with the domes and everything else. Yeah, exactly. The buildings are connected to the ether
Yeah.
100%. Just like you were saying, and then your the other videos, the tops were built out of copper. Like now they're all patinaed and they're like this really cool green color. But yeah, I was thinking about I was in Florence in last July, and the Duomo is like the most spectacular building I've ever seen. And it has like I don't even know how like the biggest dome or whatever. Um, and so that building feels really cool. That you don't go inside, but you're standing at the face of it, and it's just like massive. And it's like how on earth was this insane building with all these little intricate mosaics built like like thousands of years ago, right? And then you go to the Vatican, and don't get me started on conspiracies at the Vatican because the energy is completely different. It's supposed to be, this place of healing, but you walk in and it has the same, like these domes, these beautiful, tapestries or these beautiful paintings, this beautiful architecture that's supposed to be ancient, right? But it feels terrible. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like every time
Yeah.
I've been there twice, and both times I was like, I felt like I was walking on eggshells. It was icky. Like I was like, I needed to go take a shower after I left there. Like it was
Yeah.
interesting how
Yeah.
like the energy can be used in different ways, and I'm curious like why. So like if now we're building everything with flat roofs and we're trying to trap energy, but why are we trying to trap energy? When did this shift? Like what's the point?
Because right, and the thing is because they don't want civilization and society to have free energy,
Yeah.
but the world itself, us as human beings, we're energy within. How many times have you like shocked somebody by mistake, right? Like, we're full of energy, we're energy beings, but we've been secluded from knowing our true potential and our true powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting
111%.
too because it's like you can just shift the energy no matter what. Like for the Vatican example, like it's the same structure, but it feels bad, right? So it's like
Mhm.
is the
Yes.
conspiracy I feel like can go both ways, right? Like we're building these flat roofed or whatever because they want to trap our free energy, but are they or was it in the name of protection? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like
Right.
I feel
Right.
like it could be
Yeah. But
like
everything is in the name
overprotective
of
mom. You
protection.
know what I mean? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Especially like with government, everybody's trying to protect you. I
yeah,
don't do
totally.
that. Go there for your protection, and then you're a burden.
Yeah.
Or is it like
Yes.
lazy parenting? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you don't want
Yeah.
to teach them how
Yeah.
to use their energy the right way. So
Mm.
Right, exactly. There's this channel on TikTok that I've seen multiple times, and like he brings up just like what I was talking about, that you're a regular like U.S. Building. You can tell by the architecture. It's just like, what the heck is this? And let me show you guys.
Ask you a question about this? You think this was built in 1908? This whole building?
I think that this building is confusing to me
Confusing to me too.
because when you go inside, the first part of this building has 6 floors, but it shows 3.
Interesting. There's sub basements.
Well, the elevator shows 6 floors. When you look at the keys, where the keys cut on and off, there's 6 floors. And then when you go back, that building has 6 floors.
Interesting.
So then, when I'm in this building, to me, it's just to me, when I pay attention to the layout of this over here, right? I see Thurgood Marshall Judiciary. I see the SEC. And this being Union Station makes no sense.
Exactly.
You know why?
Why?
Judiciary, SEC, we're going to skip this one for now.
So we don't have to watch the whole thing, but he's kind of deep diving. Let me see if I can speed it up real quick.
George Washington.
Okay, right there. So you can tell that the architecture. There's no.
Did these fountains turn?
So there's no way we build it.
That I learned.
I want to get a screenshot of it. There we go. There's no way we built like this right now in current times. The way that they have at times gargoyles. They at times have medieval statues. They have lions. They have mermaids. They have all types of different, I guess at times even creatures that we don't even think that exist, right? That they're like mystical. But yet again, they were used on different structures all over the place. Here in San Diego, to be exact, there's one that we might even overlook many times, and it's Balboa Park. Balboa Park,
Mhm.
it's part of like it's a perfect example of the Tartarian Empire. There's no way we built like that right now. And when you look at it, you can see at times that there was play cards, like name play cards that were like erased for whatever reason. They might have erased like a family name, they might have erased some special
Mhm.
like meaning that or quote that they had there, or they say at times they'll modify the dates that they had on the actual building, and they'll put like a one in front of it, but it's a much older structure. What else do they say that they do?
For what? Like that's like I guess that's like the age-old question. Like why? Like
Yeah.
what is the like what is why is it so important that we don't know how old these structures are? That you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Oh, and a lot of these buildings, if you notice, they always label them as founded in year blah blah blah, but they
Mhm.
hide everything in plain sight. It was
built.
founded
Yeah.
in,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And they say that Photoshop has been, well, it's been pretty much in existence for many years, that they used to Photoshop all these different like the way they used to build all these structures, but they were fake pictures. And there's a lot of content here on TikTok. They'll deep dive that you will see a lot of the skies. There's like no clouds in the sky. Everybody's wearing suits, like, and everybody just walking with like, what the heck? Where's all the? It almost looked like a movie set that they were trying to create a scenario of back in the days that it was just make believe. And
Yeah.
so that's one of my biggest conspiracies. It's not even a conspiracy. I've seen so much that I know they're hiding
Yeah.
so much truth in front of us. But once you start like opening your eyes, you're like, what the heck? It's right in front of me, and I just looked at it as a church. I just looked at it as a nice building. Um, but yeah, there's so much hidden history with those structures.
Yeah, that's so interesting
Mhm.
too, because you think about like, especially like America, or the Americas in general are so new, right? We always say that this is such a new nation, which, okay, maybe the US government is new, but this has been here just as long as Europe has. We just didn't know it. But then it's like, okay, then where did these structures come from? So like what time frame like that you're saying it's what is it? The Tartarian
Tartarian Empire.
yeah, so what was the time frame? Like what is when was that empire or
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that who knows exactly
so interesting.
what the actual timeline is or whatnot. There's been so much modification to our history that it's hard to actually depict.
It's probably on purpose.
But yeah, yeah. But everything is hidden in plain sight. They hide everything in
Yeah.
plain sight.
They do. And it's so, and I'm telling you, my husband's like deep dive into his spiritual awakening. And the other day he's like, hey, it's like, I saw something that it said that the original Egyptians were here in the United States, and that the Mississippi River was actually the original Nile. And that they
Hmm.
have found all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, well, if they're making all these buildings, we know that no man with their sack of, sand or just brick and what is it? I'm sorry, cemento. I don't have the word in English. I'm sorry, cement,
Concrete?
concrete.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like that
yeah,
word went away.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Did it. And I know they have tried to like redo the pyramids even, right? Like, oh, look, these people try and they pull on this big pulley and they got a big thing and it was easier. I was like, there's no freaking way. Like, no, it won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no, but some people choose to just be like, see what they want. And again, there's going to come a time where they're going to begin to question, but some people are just happy not seeing these things, right? And seeing it as a church. But how many times have, even I have seen this beautiful church that has those patterns and those beautiful
Right.
symbols. And you just think, oh, it's just a beautiful pattern or symbol when everything is so intentional. They were healing homes, they were healing houses. And from the healing pattern, the codes that are there, the frequency, the way the light is gonna hit. Um, everything's intentional, but we are so busy and so preoccupied in life that we don't pay attention to it till now, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I
in
do.
your
Go ahead. Go ahead.
in your opinion,
Hmm.
who built these buildings? Are we talking like ancient civilizations, as in like Earthlings? Like, how do I
You
word
know
this?
what?
Like, do you believe in
Yes.
aliens? You know what I mean?
Yes. So I don't think these buildings were necessarily built by aliens, which I believe in aliens, right? But I believe there was a way more advanced civilization than us. Um, and for this specific, at times they say that it was the fallen angel technology that they built this because there's a lot of angelic symbolism in these buildings. Now there's the so-called Tartarian Empire, which I don't know who they are. Then they also reference to Atlantis, I believe. So because if you'll see mermaids in these type of structures at times, all right. So, but yeah, there's different theories out there that it could have been like Atlantis civilization, Tartarian, which I don't know who the Tartarian Empire is. I need a deep dive on that, but that's what they call it the most. Um, and then also, what was and the fallen angels, not sure if you guys are familiar, but they're saying that right now we're living in that little chapter in the Bible or dark period of the Bible. That's why there's a lot of like evil happening and everything is being exposed right now because technically, I don't know much of the Bible, but supposedly we're coming in that time and age that eventually God will soon come and present himself. But with that being said, and now speaking of conspiracy theory, who knows if all of this is just a play in their playbook, that with this being said, they're going to start releasing Project Bluebeam, right? And then that's when they say that God is going to come and he's going to present to ourselves, and that's when they're going to want to unite as one world government, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there,
Yeah.
yeah.
And just for
How,
everyone who's listening, yes, all this is for entertainment purposes.
yeah.
However,
Open your
don't
eyes,
cancel
people.
us. Yes, no, we've known this for a long time that the first alien invasion, because they're here, it's going to be a fake one. So your first coming of Jesus, question it, people. Question it. That's why intuition and trusting in yourself and finding those resources outside CNN, NBC, all those places, it's important. If not, you're just going to be trapped in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fallen angels are not angelic in the way that faithful angels are. As Christians, we know they're who rebelled against God. Yeah, yeah. Who
Yeah.
knows? I won't agree or disagree with that, but I don't disregard it. But yeah, let me show you guys a quick picture of Balboa Park. It's just so crazy that a lot of these buildings, from the World Fairs or so on and so forth, they'll have. Oh, sorry, I skipped it. But they'll have a lot. They'll have water in front of them, and then they'll have domes, and that's a lot of these different locations that they used to say that they used for the World Fairs. Also, a lot of these buildings, you'll be able to tell that they come from that time frame. Because they'll have a dome on top, and then that's where they used to have like the bells on top, and they will ring the bells for to supposedly they would repel bad energy with these bells. But now another conspiracy is that since the elites or these high powers are reptilian for entertainment purposes, right? That they removed all the bells because it would affect them with that frequency that was being released.
And
But
do you
yeah,
know that Balboa Park the bell that rings is not an actual bell anymore? It's actually
oh really?
pre-recorded.
I
I'm
didn't know
sorry.
that.
Yeah, it's pre-recorded.
But
It's not,
oh, I didn't.
well, nobody
Yeah,
goes up
yeah.
there and rings the bell anymore.
And let me show you when you start paying attention. Look at this type
Mm-hmm.
of like it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Right
It's
there by Old
beautiful.
Globe, right? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
look,
it's
it's on
like
the
there's
other
no
side. Yeah.
like when was the last time you saw construction workers building like this in such
No.
intricate
How would you
detail,
even do
right?
that now? You have to like make
No.
a mold.
Yeah,
Like they don't. There's no
yeah,
sculptors that are doing this. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially with domes, so many domes, so much different statues and detail in all of these. And I think there was mermaids. And the last time I went to take a walk, there was mermaids on top, I believe.
I'll
Yeah.
have to pay
Just
attention
watched
next time.
one of your videos about mermaids. I don't know what happened. Like I go on, I get like obsessed and I have to like constantly like look at everything that I possibly can about something, and I go down. I call it the Reddit hole. But I was on
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
like I was doing this about mermaids and sirens and stuff. I don't know, like I clicked on something and your one of your clips popped up about an episode you did about mermaids and sirens and stuff. And I was just
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh my God, I need to like I have to ask
Yeah.
about it. Like um
Yeah.
it's
These
so
videos about
bad.
mermaids are crazy, though. The ones that have been coming out.
Yeah, they're crazy. And it's hard now because it's like what's AI and what's not. So it's like if the crappier the
Yeah.
video, the more I'm like would probably believe
Yeah.
that one versus the ones that looks like normal. But they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
creepy looking. They're not like these like pretty little mermaids. It's like these
No. They're a little
terrifying
scary.
creatures with like sharp teeth and like
Mhm.
yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I saw one of this woman. They're I think they're someplace in Mexico, and they're speaking Spanish. And this lady, there's this, her son, I think is one of the youngest. He must still be like 17 or 15, something like that. And it's at night, and they're by the ocean. And he is by the beach, like right in front of the ocean. And he's like screaming, like if he's screaming at somebody, like say like somebody's drowning or somebody's swimming, and you're like, hey, hey, and he's screaming, and he begins to cry, and like he begins to swim at night in the ocean, like towards the
Wow.
sound. And the mom is like, he's hearing the mermaid, and
my
it's like it's like he's in trance, so he asks some other guy to go get him. And this guy is already like deep in. The guy brings him back. This kid is like fighting him. They drag him, but when they pull him out and finally kind of like smack them, and it was not funny, because the mom is like cussing at him in Spanish, hijo de la blah, 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 doing the thing. But he finally, you can tell he comes, it did not look like a fake video at all. Like he comes out of it, and finally she's like, "Oh, he's released." They start to speak, and he doesn't know what happened. And he's like, if he would have gone in, he would have been dead. They would have taken him.
Wow.
But it was such a real, like, it's like you can hear the screaming like in the back of like this mermaid. It was
So, like,
insane.
why are we putting these on buildings? Like are we like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
Maybe because
them?
you're welcome. There's water, and it's like, you're welcome in our building. Don't eat us if we go
yeah, that's
into.
interesting. Like, are we like putting these on buildings as like an offering? Like, look, we think you're beautiful and wonderful, and look, there's even water. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I
Or
mean?
or maybe just like I said, Atlantis, right? Maybe it was they like that type of civilization. Like I don't know if you've heard, right, about the dolphins that supposedly kidnapped a man to build some sort of underwater structure, right? And when I was doing a live stream, one of the people that usually tunes in, he was mentioning that the Navy SEALs use dolphins, and they even put like guns on top of the dolphins, and they're well trained to do so many different tasks that I wasn't even aware of. So
Yeah.
Dang.
yeah, it's
There's a lot
yeah,
to
we
the
don't.
dolphin thing too.
I know. Yeah.
Like I was when I was like looking at different ways that I wanted to like give birth, right? One of my friends went deep down like the dolphin birthing thing. Was like, you should totally look into this, do this. Then I started and was like, no, one, but that dolphins are so like in tune with like the like
Yes.
human frequency or whatever. Do you know about
Yes.
this?
Yeah. So the dolphins would release a certain frequency from the way that they make noises, right? The way they communicate into or onto the woman's belly. And apparently they say that that's how a lot of women used to give birth back in the days, and they would give birth with no pain
Yeah.
and no medicine. Yeah, because it was all frequency. And with that being said, right, I've also had, I think I just spoke about this past Sunday. I was mentioning that through ayahuasca, some of these beings that do surgery during ceremony, right? These beings that spiritual beings that they've mentioned that the way that we do surgery now, it's so barbaric that there's so many other ways to do surgery. Just like with frequency, you can remove a lot of bad energy that people have in their bodies. But now with our modern time, that's why we say or we think we're so advanced, but we truly not. There's been other civilizations that are way more advanced and more connected to the universe, just like those buildings we were just looking at, right? That they were connected, as Donnie Man was saying, that they were connected and they utilized the ether to provide energy and frequency that's being provided through the earth, right? Through nature, through the universe. Everything is already embedded in nature, but it's been secluded from us for us to having to purchase everything, right? To pay for electricity bill, to pay for our food, but everything grows from the ground. Everything's been provided by God, but now everything is being monetized.
Yeah, always. And yeah, we know about sound healing, just regular like sound healing, but now it is being used. I forgot exactly the name of um, there's like a specific, not, I don't want to say corporation necessarily, but an entity that is working to do it for cancer patients, to kind of like destroy the tumor. So I'm going to say something super crazy, but, or maybe it's not that crazy, but you know how you mentioned, you believe in energy and all that. So I have had clients that have had viruses and they have gotten rid of viruses through energy healing that we've done. So they have like a sexual transmitted disease and they're like, I'm with this for the rest of my life. They go and do blood tests after like sessions and they don't have it. And then they'll text again 6 months later and to make sure, and they don't have it. And all this is through energy frequency. And I actually used to be the Reiki practitioner for a nonprofit that my friend owns. It's called, it's called Answers for Cancer. And I used to be her Reiki practitioner for the cancer patients. So we would do it and we would work specifically in what the feedback that I got is like when they were doing their treatments, because a lot of them, of course, did, chemotherapy, radiation and things like that. It's like, it didn't hit me that hard. It didn't like, kind of my next day, I wasn't as in bad shape that I've been before. And because energy is healing if we know how to harness it and use it. Right. And just like that frequency, light therapy, right? We have like blue light, red light therapy, and it goes straight, it talks to our cells, it nurtures our body. And when you were talking about the bells, that has fascinated me so much. And over this past weekend, I was talking to our daughter. We were up in LA and I was like, I want to be the old lady that collects bells. That was my grandma years ago, but I am craving like brass bells. So I ended up buying 2 of them at this vintage shop, at this vintage fair that I was. And I was like, we need to go back to the frequency of the bells. It was like, get iron bells, get metal bells. It's going to be a thing. We're going to need this at some point. Yes. I just know.
Yeah. Yeah. And those buildings, that's why they would put all these cymatic patterns in the buildings. And when was the last time you heard an organ being played?
Oh.
Never, right? Never. And they all these types of buildings would have organs, and the way that the buildings were built with these domes was just they were almost like healing centers. Like people would go there, such beautiful music being played with organs, and just everything would freaking just resonate even more. Now with the frequency designs on the building, right, it's providing specific energy through light source from the sun, from like now frequencies through the organ sounds, bells. It was such a beautiful everything was connected to the universe, to the ether, to nature, and we just been removed from all of that.
Yeah. We can heal through our senses. That's why it's like aromatherapy, sound therapy, and everything. It's like you said, the earth will provide, right? God put it here, the universe put it here for us. and someone just like, how can I monetize
Yeah,
this?
and somehow those
Yes.
things that are so natural become alternative medicine. It's like, how is that alternative when man-made creations are the ones that are, that should be
Yeah.
the alternative, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelby, have you ever tried doing ayahuasca?
I've not, no.
Oof. Once in your lifetime. Once. I mean that in a very positive, from the bottom of my heart, at least once in your lifetime. You should try it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't felt the
It's
call yet.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, you do need a calling, right?
Yeah,
You'll know when it's time, but hopefully you get to experience it at one point.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've mentioned it in the past that I've never felt so much love in my life until I did ayahuasca. I cried due to so much love that I received.
Wow.
That's beautiful. Have you done
Yeah.
it again? I think you mentioned like maybe, but
I've done it 3 times and I haven't gone. It's just yeah, it's something to really prep for,
oh yeah.
diet and yeah, right now I feel like I need to like I've been dieting back again and trying to cleanse myself. So maybe this year, but yeah, I'm not trying to rush it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
A lot
tough.
of
It's
respect for
tough
the
love.
grandma. Yeah.
Yeah, big time, big time. Yeah,
Hey, I wanted, now that we're talking, you
yeah,
posted one, and I was talking to Shelby about this,
yeah.
about the dome.
Uh-huh.
And you posted a
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
video on like the
Uh-huh.
film. They had like the rainbow and then it had the film. What are your thoughts? You truly believe in the dome theory?
Strongly believe that there's a firmament on top of us, and it's even biblical if for the people that believe in the Bible, right? It's said there that God separated the waters from above to the waters below, right? And there's that old saying, "As above, so below." Also, when you see the rockets flying, supposedly going into outer space, they never go straight up. They always end up going in a curve. And I just recently saw a video where the rocket so called was going to the moon, and the moon you can literally see the moon on here and then the rocket is going the opposite way, so it's just like, and now another theory that I just heard about this right now, it's supposedly the rockets, since they go up high but they ended up curving, a lot of them end up landing in Bermuda Triangle.
Ah,
And yes, yeah, that's a new one that I just heard, I think yesterday or something like that. Yeah, it's
that is
crazy.
something.
But I strongly believe that there's a dome on top of us, and the sun and the moon are local here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So is
and
is
Strongly.
that consistent with like the flat Earth theory then?
Whether the world is flat or if I guess you can call it flat, right? But at times they even have it as being like an empty hole inside, and it kind of
Oh,
circles
yes.
within, but a dome. So it's not technically flat per se. But there is a dome. Maybe there's like it's some. I guess it's flat in a sense, right? But I strongly believe there's a dome.
Would you think it's like atmospheric? Like an atmospheric
Y-
dome? Like what is this? We're not living in a glass
yes,
bubble,
yes,
right?
yeah. I think one of the movies that I really like is the Truman Show. That kind of depicts that, right?
I was
That
waiting
you
for you to
can't
say the
really
Simpsons
escape.
movie.
Yeah, another Truman Show that kind of depicts that Truman was trying to. So, I'm sorry, I'm reading one of the comments, but sorry. At times I got distracted. At times, since I stream on a vertical, at time right now I couldn't really set up my vertical stream. And at like Sunday, I got a bunch of random trolls that they were just
Oh,
going off like a bunch of comments. But for me, I didn't get mad, right? I was like, "What the heck?" I received a lot of reach. For some reason, I got a lot, like it landed on the For You page or whatnot. I'm like, "Oh shoot, that's crazy." It's because I'm trying something new. I'm doing the dual stream that it lets me stream vertically and then horizontal, and so technically I'm streaming in both. So now it will reach two different audiences. But yeah, and I read one of the comments, but it's people are just being funny. But going back to that, like as being Adam, I guess the Truman Show, I really think they put a lot of hidden symbolism that, like Christoph, like that the moon is technically like a satellite, that people are controlling the world through that. Now, with that being said, they said that there's a point in time where the moon didn't exist and the world was different. Not sure if you guys have heard about that theory. There was a time where the moon didn't exist in this world, and time and the tidal waves and the world live in the world experience, or the life experience here on Earth, it was a lot different. And now, if you realize the moon affects the Earth in many different ways, the tidal waves, the way that people's mood change, so on and so forth. But yeah, there's, I do feel like it's some sort of atmospheric environment that we've been put into, I guess, but who knows?
Could this be the ozone layer that everybody, how they're like, protect the ozone layer? Like, oh, the ozone layer, there's this layer. I'm like, that's maybe our film that we have.
Yeah, do we really need
Do we need it?
Yeah. At times I feel like they make up these words to scare people, and ozone, and they call so many different things. I think to your point, Dee, at the very beginning of the podcast, mentioning that your husband's kind of waking up, I think there's a lot of people that are waking up in modern times, and especially I look up a lot of comments on TikTok. There's so many people that are not buying the events happening at the White House, the events happening with NASA going to the moon. So many people are questioning.
Oh yeah, that didn't.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's so funny when your family is all into. Look at what are they called, Artemis or whatever?
Artemis too.
And it's just like, oh my gosh, and we watched the landing of these, and I'm like,
yeah.
Gosh, it's just, no, you didn't. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yes, sure. It's just a lot of people are questioning more, which is great. I'm like, curiosity is what everything begins,
Can't
right?
let it consume you, though.
Yeah.
I think I talk about this stuff every single day with somebody. I'm totally that weird person. Like, if you encounter me in public, I'm gonna end up talking to you about something freaking weird. But like, not letting this stuff consume me, because my immediate reaction is like, did that really happen? Or what are they distracting me from? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yes.
Landings
and all this like bullshit in the White House. Like, what's really happening that you don't want us to see?
We just uncovered one of the craziest crimes in history, right? With the Epstein files.
Yes.
But yet again, the world continued. With the world, like, nothing's happening, and people are continuing with their day-to-day lives. There should be an outrage happening on a day-to-day basis.
War happening. Like, what is going on?
Yes.
Yeah, it's wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's years of conditioning, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Just like just a couple years back with the whole jab, right? The whole jab thing that it's just like, you can really tell how much people are controlled and brainwashed.
Well, with entire pandemic, yes, like we lost a lot of people and everything there, but a lot of, if they try to do it again, people are not going to believe it. It was a way of control, of fear. So there's
I'm with Shelby a little. Like, maybe there's some people that woke up, but to be honest, if they really put it out there, spread it again, I think they'll fall for it again.
Have you gone down any of the rabbit holes with this whole Lyme disease situation?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I saw it, but I haven't really seen it manifest too much.
Yeah.
At least not here in California, but I did see that though.
Yeah. Apparently there's, they're it's like a whole thing with Bill Gates and all of it. It's like, it's a huge conspiracy with his cultured meats and everything else. And I went down a pretty deep rabbit hole there. And, Lyme disease is up like whatever per 60% over. There's been hundreds of cases of people going to the hospital with Lyme disease and whatever, it's all over the news or whatever. Well, obviously, somebody's going to come up with a Lyme disease vaccine, and Pfizer's been working on it for years now, and it's supposed to launch in
Yeah.
2027. Surprise, people are
Yeah.
getting Lyme disease. Like, come on. Like, they're not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
trying very hard anymore.
Yeah, that's what it's
Right.
really difficult because I have clients that used to work in pharmaceuticals, so they work the entire way to get uh, like a pill or a prescription out into the world. And when the jab came out, they're like, one, they've been working on that for a long time. It's like I can't remember the name of the medicine that went out, and it's like, and it took us 15 years to get that out to the public.
Yeah.
So that they just released it, it's just insane. It's like they were working on it behind the scenes for a really long time.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to hear
It's
this
it,
from professionals like that are in the field, I'm like, yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah.
it's all planned out. It's all planned out.
The pandemic
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
call it, right?
Yeah.
So funny.
I feel like we can talk on this episode for like literally ever.
I know.
Um,
I know. We won't take too much more of your
Yeah.
time. So kind of wrapping it up in a way. So one of the questions we asked is like, have you had any witchiest, magical moments that have impacted your life?
Can I get an example of that? Because I was trying to think of a scenario of like what's been like magical or witchy.
It can be like
and I'm
a
like,
really aha moment of you of like, oh my God, like how you started the podcast, like if this is how did suddenly you woke up and you're like, whoa, it was this realization, this aha moment of doing something that impacted in your life. It doesn't have to be the podcast, but almost in a way of like changing your ways, right, into this magical experience.
changing my ways. Oh man, that's a tough one. So I think the only thing, and this is me just whatever I'm receiving in my thoughts, right? The only thing that I can recall right now, I just saw this video that they say, and maybe this won't apply to your question, right? But they said if God has put a thought in your mind and you have these golden desires inside of you that you want to do or pursue certain things, there's a reason why you're receiving those thoughts, or there's these wants or reasons why you're pursuing these goals and dreams of yours, right? There's no mistakes on that. And I'm a big proponent in that whatever you feel in your heart, you should follow that, right? Because you're receiving this message and your heart is telling you to go a specific route, right? And your feelings are never wrong per se. For instance, a question to both of you: have you guys ever dreamt of being a NASCAR driver?
No.
No,
Not a NASCAR
exactly, no, because it's not your path,
Yeah.
right? It's not your path. But whatever thoughts or whatever wants and desires you have, it's for a reason. And they said this video talked about that the reason why you're receiving that and you're receiving that energy is because your future self is pushing you to continue in that path, to not give up because you were meant for that specific goal. That's the only thing that I can think of as far as as far as witchy moments or aha moments. That's a tough one. Is there one that you guys can share briefly?
Oh, nobody's ever done that to me before. Turn it around. Wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it happens to me like every day. Like I just think that we all get to like kind of what you were saying about your future self, kind of it's like future pacing yourself in a way. I mean, Dee and I both came from like corporate backgrounds and everything else, and I think that for me, I've always been obsessed with the paranormal. Like since I was a little kid, I was obsessed. But I think a lot of the times we stop with that childlike wonder. We stop, being curious. We stop, all those things because we have to get to the grind. We have to, start our lives. We have to do all these things that, we've been conditioned to think are the right things. And at some point in your adult life, you either get to a breaking point where you wake up and you start living in more alignment with what you're meant to be. And for me, that happened not too long ago. I guess it's been a while now. It's been about 10 years, I guess, but doesn't feel like it was that long ago. Where I
Wow.
just like hit a breaking point of like, this can't be my life. I'm miserable. Um,
Mm,
and I started realizing when I felt my absolute best was when I was doing things like energy work and yoga and sound
mm,
healing and all those different things. And so I was like, I'm going to do the things that make me feel good and then see what happens. And it's more pushed me on this path of like all of these amazing things. I met Dee, who was just an amazing inspiration to me. And now I get to sit here on a whatever night this is on a podcast talking to interesting people, and you know what I mean? So it's interesting that like life kind of just opens those doors once you start saying hell yes to the things you love,
Mhm.
you know?
yeah.
Amen
That's
to that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Amen
Yeah.
to that. I love it. Yeah, this has been so fun. And I was thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, we didn't even get to talk about timelines, jumping timelines. And then I
No.
saw a TikTok the other day of this lady who was talking about EMFs and how they can steal your dreams and all that. And she was
Mm.
putting on like a mesh over her head and going to sleep like that. I'm like, I don't know if I would
We're
do
gonna have
that.
to pull out our foil hats.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what
basically
we
the
do.
tinfoil hat, but it was like this mesh over your head. And I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, that is so interesting. What do we think about that? But we'll have to have you again on the
Yeah. We
podcast
have to do
in the
round two.
future. Yes, we have to
Yeah.
do a part
Yeah.
two of this because we can definitely talk for hours here. But Angel, before we go, where can people find you? What is the best way for our audience to connect with you?
So as here, let me put my screen real quick. And so yeah, so actually I have all my different socials on through social media as far as TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, pretty much all the different social media platforms. I have it under Oi Nomas Podcast. My personal one, I do just my personal life share a lot of my right now my daughter, right, it's Angel Houseman, but more than anything I'm very active when it comes down to Oi Nomas Podcast. That's where I feel like my personal pages is just for me to share my day-to-day like activities, and then Oi Nomas Podcast, it's that platform that I've given myself to be able to talk about anything I want to talk about and be weird, explore, at times just act silly. Like right now, like I'm wearing glasses right now because I'm super tired. I wake up like at 4 in the morning. So yeah, so if I don't have the glasses, you can see that I'm freaking drained. But
I hear
yeah,
you, man. I'm up
um,
every hour.
yeah,
Got a 6-month-old
but
twin,
yeah,
so we can
yeah.
share bags under our eyes together.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, it's pretty much all my different social media. Just Angel Houseman, my personal account, and Oinomas Podcast, where I do deep dives and get to talk to people, beautiful people like yourself that are trying to seek for truth and explore more than what we've been told through history and through
Yeah.
our social construct.
Absolutely. Well, that was beautiful. Incredible. Well, thank you so much for, agreeing to do the podcast
Yeah.
and for doing it after a long day of work and tired. But we feel your passion here. So thank you. We're definitely gonna do a part two because
Yeah,
we have
I
to
would love
research
to.
this Tartarian. I like
Yes, you know what? I would love to have you guys. Usually, I stream on Sundays, right? I usually stream on Sundays at 8 o'clock. Would that work for both of you by any chance?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and if you guys can try to dig a little bit into Tartarian Empire, and I would love to have you guys, and we can just chat and have another conversation like this.
I would
That would be
love that.
fantastic. That would be awesome. So thank
Cool.
you, everyone. Thank you so very much. We are, again, Witches Who Podcast. You can find us on Instagram and on YouTube under Witches Who Podcast. Also, we do have a Patreon. It's only $5 a month. Every Monday, I do oracle and psychic readings. You actually get to ask questions. And we have sound healing, meditation, hypnotherapy sessions there that Shelby does. And what else do we have, Shelby, going on?
Oh, so many things. I feel like I can't even think about them all right now.
I know.
Frequency activations, all kinds of different stuff on there.
Yeah. And we're hoping to do another. Thank you for everyone who came to our last event, the clothing swap back in March. That was a complete success. And we're hoping to do another one at the end of August. But before that, we're going to have some really cool events happening. So till next time, tune in, stay curious. Besitos. Bye.
Peace.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to follow us on social media at Witches Who Podcast.